Welcome, welcome, friends. 15.2 is
Hello.
here.
Yes, it is the first day of 15.2. We hope everyone is out enjoying and getting those goodies. We have a new event pass going already,
Yep.
and it has given me 3 million credits and a bounty of other goodies.
Oh yeah.
I am in desperate need of port slots, always. And so the fact that I got
that
two
that is
port
definitely
slots,
something we are lacking as employees.
I don't know what you're talking. I have 650 occupied port slots, so I always need more.
Yeah. Can I reset all my captains at once, or do you need to do them one by one? You do have to reset them yourself one by one. I know in the past we have reset everyone's captains like forcibly before. I understand that the reason we don't do that anymore is because a lot of people don't read the patch notes, don't understand what's going on, and they just are confused why their commanders have been screwed up.
Yes, and
Our producer is correcting my camera because I'm a special snowflake and I need my monitor at a special height.
zuiKatsu is. It's also worth noting that, thank you for bringing that up. If you are wondering what we're talking about, go ahead and check the announcement article for update 15.2. And under the aircraft carrier changes, you will find a button that lets you
Yes.
reset all of your commanders.
You do need to opt in. You will receive a 1 week long discount that allows you to reset all of your commanders for free. Keep in mind, right now, you do have to select the option. Make sure that you select the Commander XP option
Yes.
when you do reset. The doubloons are not discounted. We are working on getting that fixed, hopefully, so that people don't accidentally spend doubloons on it.
But for right now, make sure you're using the free XP option. Texas fried chicken. When will you learn? The more you ask, the less chances of Yari actually coming out. But yes, you will. You can reset your commanders as often as you like for the first week of the update. But it's important to note it is not 1 week from when you click the button. It ends 1 week into the update for everybody. So no matter when you redeem it, 1 week from when the update launches on your server is when it ends.
I see. Our Ying has run into a Lucian and a Groningen, so that's not good. I'm trying to help him. And while Vallejo does have really, really good arcs for a light cruiser, it still is a light cruiser.
So tell me more about the Vallejo. It is not a ship you see very often.
Yeah, pretty rare ship to see in randoms because I think it is for steel, so it's like a
and it's tier 9.
relatively expensive ship, and it's not that, let's say, classically popular. But Vallejo is essentially like, imagine like a Worcester or a Seattle, that kind of like style of ship. You have little 152mm guns. They fire reasonably quickly. You have traded your hydro and radar for the rapid takeoff spotter that's featured on ships like Lazo. Yes, you do also lose your radar.
That is a big trade-off. So this rapid takeoff spotter, does it just increase your range, or is it?
Yes, it increases your range like any other spotter. It just has a updated like reload and uptime, so you can use it more often, and it lasts for a shorter period of time, but you have better uptime. Let's put it that way. It reloads really, really quickly. I love the consumable because it kind of gives you the range when you need it and not when you don't. The other thing that's unique about Vallejo is her shells uniquely have incredibly, incredibly low drag. That makes her, obviously, like as is intended as part of her role, much better at shooting at long range than the Worcester and friends.
I would say most American light cruisers have very, very floaty shells that are very difficult to land at long range. It sounds like, and so you have said, Vallejo is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, so for example, like this kind of range, like this 17-kilometer range would be like orbital velocity for Worcester. For Vallejo, it's still reasonably comfortable shooting at this range, just because she has extremely, extremely low shell drag. I think if you like technically, if you go look it up, Vallejo's shell drag is like 0.2 off the top of my head, which is the same as Slava.
Oh, okay.
She just doesn't, obviously she doesn't have like the initial velocity of Slava, which is why
Slava, with those famous Russian railguns, has infinite velocity on its main battery gun shells. That is a Kearsarge. Now, for those of you in chat,
real quick. The everyone in chat wondering about the drops. We do think that due to daylight savings time, it is going to start an hour later than normal. So we are keeping an eye on it. But stick around for an hour. You'll be able to get an hour of progress halfway through the stream, and then again we will have the EU streams coming later. But thank God for daylight savings time and global teams.
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see, I lost my spotter plane, so I'm no longer able to hit the Yamagi, but I have it back up already. It has like about a 10-second downtime between uses.
That is very rapid. Ow. That
yes,
Yagi
drops.
Just touched
I think
me.
they
I
are
do not
active.
appreciate it.
They,
ow.
they
Wow,
should
wow,
have
wow,
gone
wow.
live right as we started the stream, basically.
Fantastic. All right, I saw a few people mentioning it in chat, so we were trying to address it, but I was figuring that might be the worst case scenario. Never mind then. Ignore everything I just said.
Also, for those of you thinking that the Valparaiso is completely invincible, I give you gameplay.
When you expose your fleshy citadel, things
I
can
did
happen.
expose my fleshy citadel. I overextended just a tad there, but that does give me a chance to talk about one of the other features. If you look at the top of my screen, or the top of... Oh, nope, zuiKatsu does not have it enabled.
I have not turned it on yet.
But
I will turn it on.
we have some new UI updates. So there is now a score timer that shows how long it will take, assuming nothing changes, for each team to win on points. And the other important change is when you fire your main battery guns, you can turn on an indicator that shows how long the detection bloom will last. So it is 20 seconds by default. I believe that changes, the only time that would change is if you are in a thunderstorm.
Yes. So thunderstorm and other kind of like weather effects do change how long you're spotted for after firing. I will riskily open up my settings and show you where they are.
Is it okay to call you Zui? Yeah, we all call
Zui is
zuiKatsu
fine.
Zui or Zui. Is it Zui? Zui?
Zui. Like
Okay.
I've heard it all. I'll recognize it.
And props to you for being polite.
But yeah, there's this new section here in the armor, in your settings. It's the battle settings here. And you'll find you can customize your crosshair a lot more too.
Yes.
And all of the new settings are in there.
Let's see.
I see we have
Where in the
back.
news to read about the captain? Yes, it is under the CV changes, because the reason we are doing it is because of the changes to aircraft carriers. And actually, I will be bringing an aircraft carrier in our next match, so we can show some of those off.
Yeah, primarily it's the CVs are now much more capable of supporting their friends with their fighters.
Yes.
You can deploy them much further away from your planes.
So it is in a radius around your aircraft rather than the ship itself, and the time for the aircraft to arrive depends on how far away you put them. So if you do fly over a friendly ship and drop fighters on them, it is much quicker for them to arrive than if you deploy them at their max range, and that max range does vary by the tier of the carrier you are driving. Now, zuiKatsu demonstrating some excellent long-range gunnery.
Well, 14 kilometers is a little close for comfort, but
Close for comfort in a Vallejo. But in my typical ships, see, part of the other reason why I was eliminated so quickly in the Valparaiso, and the typical response when people ask what the weakness of the ship is, if you cannot get close in a Valparaiso, it is a not very weak, but it doesn't hold up well. Its armor scheme is not all that great, so if you can't get close enough to get your special combat instructions and start spamming those heals and those damage controls, it's actually fairly vulnerable to torpedoes, to large caliber AP, and to aircraft. But once you get someone within it's 11.5, 12 kilometers for the max range on the Valparaiso secondaries, then 12 kilometers, okay. Then it is a obviously very dangerous ship. Torp the Valve, yes, indeed.
torp the Valp or stay away and kill it with citadels.
Yes.
Without the heals, it is kind of a fat Valp, fat Vanguard.
It is a fat Vanguard. it is a Vanguard indeed. My team is absolutely the one guy that has to brawl with the enemy Val. Well, yes. And that's because brawling is fun, especially if you're in a Valparaiso. So if you see me in a Valparaiso, the appropriate move is obviously to charge. But that's only if I'm in the Valparaiso. If someone else is in the Valparaiso, feel free to kite away and gun them down from range. So chat, we're going to be covering some aircraft carrier gameplay in this stream. I know aircraft carriers generate mixed feelings. Personally, I'm a fan, but it's okay. You still want that fight? Go ahead and sync drop us. We're going to be jumping into another match here as soon as zuiKatsu hard carries our team.
I'm doing my best here.
Will 29 be up available this update? That's something you would probably find out in a dev blog before us. As I say often on Discord, we'll repeat here. If there's a piece of news that has not yet been updated and this stream is not reading dev blogs, the chances of us telling you first are fairly low. As much as we would love to tell you all of our knowledge, we will share with you gameplay knowledge, we will share with you gameplay. But we cannot tell you when specific ships are coming out or how they will be released or for what resources.
If Gizmo ever does tell something that isn't released in the game blog, please DM me on Discord.
Yes, DM Sir Snarf with my lapses in security.
It's with him.
And you will you might see a couple of streams.
Unnerf the Kava.
You might see a couple of streams without me.
I have been playing a lot of Kava recently, and I don't think she is in need of buffs. I think she's still quite good at her role.
Look, you weren't supposed to hear about those Virginia class SSBNs. That was
Yeah.
that was perhaps a bit of a leak on my part. I wish Kaba had a longer range. Take the range mod.
Yeah, the legendary mod does help increase the range. I know it does also kind of like take the spot of rudder mod, which is very, 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 very sorely missed.
I say I got the Kaba out of, I want to say, a firepower container a while ago. And I had that before I had my Delmi, and I've been trying to use both of them more, and I think they are very interesting ships.
I think it's definitely like in a lot of games, what happens is I would say there's like kind of an implicit expectation that you do certain things when you have the triangle icon, and you just can't.
No. Kaba, Delmi, a lot of those. Hi, I'm Gizmo. For Sonambulous. I'm Gizmo. That's Zui. Just to introduce ourselves, I know we are both relatively new to the CM team. Behind the camera, we have our lovely producer, Sir Snarf.
Yeah, and we have been working on a couple of the weird, like, couple of the weird technical
I say you're lovely,
issues
Sir Snarf. I say you're lovely.
that we've had with stream. Hopefully, there's less of audio problems. I know we were having sync issues last week.
Yes.
Hopefully, they're solved.
We believe those are solved. Still prefer Tashkent. Tashkent is a good ship. Is it the Tashkent 39 that was dominating those torpedoes?
Yeah.
That is
It has a ridiculous amount of HP for its tier.
It does.
Ow. I believe I just got Sap Citadel.
Something else that we're going to be showing off later in this patch, once we get back to port, is the new Ember Core skins.
Yes, those are very cool.
Those are very exciting. So I have been looking for a good coal sink for quite a while. Well, post-Surcouf, I should say. I know a lot of our community members also sunk a lot of coal into the Surcouf. If you want to get those extra stages in the Neon Paradox, you have. But now, assuming you still have some coal to burn, we have coal skins for you. So for tiers 7, 8, 9, and 10, you can get Ember Core permanent camouflages for your ships. And I think they look... I was going to say, I think delicious is the right word, because they do look like a marshmallow that was in the fire for just a bit too long.
A little bit too long.
Depending on who you ask, that's perfect. I'm a golden brown marshmallow fan. I think there's a definite art to it.
Yeah,
but
for
I will
sure.
admit the people... Oh, I'm just casually getting a witherer. Okay. The people who just stick the marshmallow in the fire, let it char, and then remove the crust. That does look a good deal like our Ember Core camouflages.
I was not paying attention to the minimap. I appear to be the only player left on the team, so...
Well, remember when I said you were going to hard carry? Looks like you're going to get a solo warrior as well.
That is going to be necessary to win.
Let's see. The only buff Khabarovsk needs is to update the maneuverability, undo the maneuverability change.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about Kaba. like a lot of suggestions. If for what it's worth, Zorky is essentially an unnerfed Kappa,
Yeah.
the tier 11, the super ship, and it is definitely one of the better ones. So,
Speaking of super ships, I am saving my way up to get my second super ship. Currently, I only have the Annapolis, and I got that many years ago because there was a clan battle season where you could take super ships, and
yes.
I wanted to have one just to be able to merc around and be useful if people needed me to fill in. I'm getting the Hanover next. I don't think it's necessarily the best super ship, but it's my super ship.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
caters to my playstyle.
Annapolis is definitely a really, really good one. I think overall, it's very solid. It's good in both like randoms and competitive play when super ships are allowed, which is somewhat rare. And I would say someone mentioned in chat Conde
Conde
is particularly strong, and yes, that is very true. Conde is extremely
strong
good.
ship. Yeah, back in the early days of super ships, it was the only tier 12 available. We started earlier. Daylight savings time, my friend. Daylight savings time does
daylight savings.
strange things to schedules.
If you are in the EU or in other places which have not swapped over to new time, that's why
Things
you will sync up to us again
2 weeks?
at
It's
a later time, let's say.
Do we know when
I
mod station will
believe-
have the ship info mods back?
This is my
We
death
do not
here.
directly control the mod station. That is somewhat up to the discretion of the mod makers. But we do have a dedicated mod section on our Discord if you'd like to ask questions about mods and to the mod makers. So that's probably a better way to get
So all of our mods do have to get updated and validated for each new version. That's why there's always kind of a bit of a delay here. Why is Hawaii stronger than Conde? That's a hot take. I think that's a hot take.
First of all, Zui, what a match. My goodness. What kind of boosters are you running to get nearly 2 million credits?
Well, Vallejo does. It is a tier 9 premium.
It's a tier 9 premium, but still, that was a defeat. Now, you had
So one thing to
darn
note,
good game.
defeats, so wins do have the 50% multiplier for XP. Credits are actually not affected by win bonus, as far as I know.
Interesting.
I need to check here, but did I finish a mission that gave credits? No, it's just for performance.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, as always, tier 9 premiums are like the best way to earn credits in the game. They are very, very good at it. See, you brought a T10.
I brought a T10, and actually, I think that we have some untoasted marshmallows on my on my end
And
of
there she
Invencia
is.
here.
Yes, the Ember Core.
So we have the Ember Core, but then these, I know they're not marshmallows, but to me they look like spare untoasted marshmallows that are waiting now that I have the rest of the ship turned into a nice toasted marshmallow. Now, for those of you who perhaps gone camping, s'mores or hobo pies, what's the superior campfire food? Because I remember making, what's the name of it? It's where you take a banana and like wrap it in tinfoil with marshmallows and chocolate chips.
That sounds good.
It was very good. I can't remember the name of it.
Bananas are disgusting. You're wrong.
Bananas are disgusting, did you say? Just objectively the whole. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have a raid. Metahandro raiding with a party of 13. Thank you very much.
Thanks for raiding in. Hello to all of you viewers. Welcome in. Camo seems to get washed out in lighter parts. It's possible.
It is obviously one of the darker camos we've ever released.
Yeah.
Do you think it looks very good with the aircraft as well?
You want to take it into battle? Let's take
I
a look
forgot
at
I'm
it.
in charge. I was just marveling at the camouflage here.
For those of you asking about the Pioneer, yeah, that is something that we noticed. The tech team should have that fixed, and Pioneer is coming back to the armory. Most likely tomorrow.
There is no Pioneer. There is no war.
There is no
embossing set.
Pioneer in, well, the Warship's 15-2.
There is no Pioneer embossing set. Let's see, beer and beer nuts. Sounds like you are a fairly monotone campfire individual, but you know what? Hot dogs, that's true. Do love a good campfire glizzy.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with that. Now, the question is, when you skewer the hot dog, do you skewer it long ways, going all the way through, or do you go through the middle and have it sticking out perpendicular to the skewer? Because I think you do get a better sear if you go the long way, but also
It is more difficult.
That also, yeah, it's more difficult. You tend to core out the hot dog, which leaves you with significantly less hot dog.
Hi, Ouija. Hello.
Howdy.
All
Howdy,
in
friend.
ox. If you're in chat, hello, hello. If
Forked
not,
branches. That's true. Forked branches are elite.
yes.
For grilling up campfire snacks.
I'm definitely a grill them, like skewer it in the middle perpendicularly.
The middle perpendicular.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen it in chat. Has anyone else made hobo pies over a campfire? Those are good. We did them with like pizza sort of stuff. So you'd have 2 slices of bread, and then you would put mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, and marinara sauce, and then you would close them in the.
For me, it was a similar thing, except with pita bread.
That does sound
Just
good.
kind of because they come hollow, kind of easy to work with.
Yeah, you get the default pocket there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, did you just say pita?
Yeah,
Pita.
I was gonna call him on that too. Now
Is this another like
Yeah,
is this
that's
another
definitely
Canadian thing?
Canadian.
Pita.
Canada isn't. It's pita.
Pita?
What are the nuts that you commonly see in pies down here in the south? Just curious what you call those.
The nuts? Commonly pecan?
You say pecan. Interesting.
Well, what is it?
Well, it both are right. I've heard pecan and pecan. Pecan is typically the pronunciation down here in the south, as far as I'm aware. But what would I know? I'm repping my home state, so I am, of course, from Ohio. Did not go to OSU, but being from Cleveland, you kind of become an OSU fan by default because we don't have a football team in Cleveland, so you have to root for the
Fair
football
enough.
team that's closest.
I'd like to know how he pronounces those kind of like graffiti or emblems that you could paint on the
Those-
side of something.
Those are definitely decals.
Decals?
Decals.
Okay. Now
I'm standing by that one.
Sure.
that's a choice. That is one of the choices of all time. Now, you saw me doing it earlier, but when you want to deploy fighters, this is the new interface. So you have your aircraft, which I'm going to try and maneuver here on the minimap, which is difficult to do while talking and thinking about placing fighters. But so you have a radius around your aircraft, and when you press T, you have the circle you can bring up. And so I'm going to drop fighters over here on our friendly Hoffman. And you can see, because I deployed those quite far away, it's going to take a whole 23 seconds for those to arrive.
Yeah. So that is distance from your carrier,
I believe it's
Am I-
distance from the aircraft.
or is it from the aircraft? Okay.
Let's see. Ohio time to uninstall. Ouch. Look, I assume you're from that state up north then, in which case, don't associate with you. I don't even think you're not even, I can't talk to you. Don't even claim the history of football in Cleveland. No, we have nothing to do with that. Actually, the only football team from Cleveland that I recognize, the Cleveland Gladiators, our indoor football team.
Indoor football.
Yes, which, as far as I'm aware, the Cleveland Gladiators are supposed to be pretty good. I wouldn't know because no one's ever heard of indoor football.
Yeah, you got me there. Now you're playing the Independencia. That was new last version.
It is new, and it
I-
starts with a depleted supply of its torpedo bombers, but that's because they are exceedingly strong.
Yeah, it drops. I believe they're midway torps? Question
Yes.
mark.
You get drops.
But there's a lot more of them.
Yeah, so you have an attack flight of 4. They each drop 2 torpedoes. So that is a total of 8 for those of you who are bad at math, like myself. Ohio State, the Wolverines are... Don't you dare. Don't you, Legionnaire. First of all, I didn't realize it was you at first. But also, get that nonsense out of my sight. How dare you? No, the Wolverines are not from there. It is the Buckeyes, the superior college football team.
I'm trying to deal with this border riding thunder here.
I remember when border riding was
It's a whole task.
a whole thing. Let's see, that's Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, Columbus is where the where OSU is. I grew up in Cleveland, so not too close to Columbus, not too far away, about 2 hours. You sort of had the triangle in Ohio, like a lot of states, right? You had the three C's. You had Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Miami, Ohio. Both my parents went to Miami of Ohio. Great school. Love Miami of Ohio. And then in Texas, I've realized we have the same thing with Dallas, Houston, and Austin. I feel like a lot of states, you get 3 big cities. You get 3. That's kind of the cap for everybody.
Yeah, no more, no less.
Yep. And they're all within a couple hours. For Ohio, it was 2 hours from Cleveland to Columbus, 2 hours from Columbus to Cincy, 4 hours, to go the long way.
Yeah.
And then Toledo existed, but we don't really talk about Toledo. I can't believe we almost fought a war with Michigan for Toledo, of all things. Now, admittedly, that is why we hate Michigan to this day, was because of a conflict. For those of you that don't know the history, so the Toledo Strip was a little bit of land there on the northwestern corner of Ohio, where Toledo is, and it's a very good port. And so way back in the day, when trade on the Great Lakes was, it is very important, but it was much more important back then to have a deep water port like Toledo. And Michigan wanted it, and Ohio wanted it, to the point where they almost went to war with each other. There were militias massing on the state borders. And so Congress stepped in and said, look, we can't have you guys going to war over this. So Michigan, Ohio's going to get Toledo, but we're going to give you this big piece of land up by Wisconsin. So you got the Upper Peninsula. Yep, you got the UP. You got, the other bit that's not the Mitten. And you got Toledo. And as much as I hate to give Michigan a win, I really do think you guys got the better end of that deal. Because Toledo is not exactly the best reward.
I see I had a low HP Vanguard in front of me, but then I saw his secondaries open up. So I know that he's not going to be low HP for much longer.
You mean Valparaiso?
Valparaiso.
Because you said Vanguard. And
they're close enough.
the Vanguard
Close enough.
If the Vanguard secondaries are opening up on you, the Vanguard is in deep trouble. If a Valparaiso secondaries are opening up on you...
I mean, he's 500 HP. Maybe we kill him.
Maybe we kill him, unless...
Okay, we got him.
Okay.
Nice. Turns out you just need more fire.
You just need... When in doubt, shoot them all.
Now, our producer went off to go do something, so I will swap over to my screen myself. I'm playing the Repub. It's, as of 2 patches ago, got its legendary mod. We call it overhauled. In my eyes, it's a buff.
Yeah.
She now retains her full range, which is like a huge benefit, especially for a relatively squishy hull like Repub's. But the main thing is, now there's this kind of build floating around. I was put onto it by one of our fellow CMs, Bazinga. And you just kind of you just accept your fire damage in the face. You accept that you will be on fire.
All of the time.
All the time. So you take Furious, you take super heavy AP, which allows you to, I believe it lengthens fire duration on you, but it reduces the fire damage you take per tick.
That is correct.
Which is kind of cool. So I just let fires tick on me, and the result of that is that Repub gets down to like a ridiculous 15-second reload on 8 reasonably accurate, very, very good damage pen. By all accounts, they're very, very powerful shells.
17-inch guns, which is weird. It's an interesting caliber.
A little bit weird. But they very good HE, very good AP, and you get the reload down ridiculously low with this build. So it's a lot of fun to play. It's almost like playing a very large cruiser, which was always the case for Repub, but now even more so.
Yes. Repub was slept on. Yeah. Is there a way to not have a CV's camo applied to her planes? No.
That is interesting.
It's an interesting idea, but if you have the camo on the CV, you do have to have it on the planes as well. And personally, in this case, I think it looks great. I do like sort of the little bits of red there on the wings, on these Bearcats, and the rest of my Independencia aircraft.
It is a strange name to say.
It's strange for someone who speaks no Spanish. I really should. I should learn. That's one of my... For any bilingual people in chat, first of all, shout out if you're bilingual, what languages you speak. But I've always wanted to learn a second language. I've tried with several. and so I have a smattering of words and a smattering of languages, and yet a mastery, arguably, of none. I would like to think I'm pretty good with English, but judging by
I
the
would
way
hope
I
so.
start talking at the end of streams, after 2 hours, perhaps, maybe not. Old enough to be a Browns fan, once a Browns fan, always a Browns fan. Heck yeah. It's okay to be a dual allegiance Browns fan, as long as you at least retain that bit of Browns love.
I'm surprised I underled that Montana.
Here's the thing. I like introducing myself as a Browns fan because I know no one's going to accuse me of being a bandwagon fan. No one's going to be like, oh, you only like the Browns because they're good. Because we haven't been good in ever. So what do I have to fear? And I know I've said this on stream before, but it bears repeating. There are only 2 teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. That's not one that has never been to a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns.
The problem with the Repub is its turret distribution. 2 turrets is bad. It's worth to have spread out much further to utilize its full firing capacity. Well, her firing angles are not terrible. They do, like, the shots, so here, there's this weird phenomenon that's, like, in the game of WoW, where just, like, having 2 turrets makes your dispersion look bad. It's, like, objectively not terrible.
Interesting.
It just looks like it. Because the turrets, the shells look like they're coming from 2 different places. And they mentioned that there isn't really a reason to play the Repub over the Burgoyne. Well, now, with this build,
And with
particularly,
the tweaks to the legendary mod.
Repub's damage, just raw damage output, is exceptionally high. She still retains like the full range, which is sweet, and she has 30mm overmatch, which is pretty strong in today's meta, and it's I would say it's the reason a lot of players think battleships are overpowered. It's like kind of the prevalence, the overabundance, let's say, of 30mm overmatch. Burgoyne is definitely really good. I think the main benefit, the main strength she has over Repub is the speed boost runs. It's a 15% speed boost rather than Repub's normal 8%. That does affect your acceleration. It affects how quickly you can like blaze up a flank and get flanks. But I would say there's definitely they're like trade-off ships. I wouldn't say one is particularly stronger than the other.
Let's see. Glad to see all the Ohio love in chat. Maybe there's Ohio State. Maybe there's Ohio hate. Maybe there's not. I don't know. I can't read when it comes to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it's not there. Reality is what you make it, folks. And I say everyone loves Ohio. Including Legionnaire. Especially Legionnaire.
It didn't get in range of the carrier at the end. Unlucky.
Was the commander reset supposed to happen today? Well, it
Yes.
happens as soon as the update goes live on your server, and you do have to claim it. So again, you go into, and I will actually show that.
I was 123k.
123. I had 111.
Ooh, close actually.
Close. But of course, goes to the
I-
legend himself, zuiKatsu.
Sure.
Uh,
Yes, if you want to go ahead and show them.
Yes. So when you go to, you can do this in-game or on the website. If you are in-game, you go to News, Update 15.2. Scroll down. And yes, we will be talking about this a bit later. And then under Changes to Aircraft Carrier Mechanics, you will see Free Commander Skills Reset. And you will have a button right here that you can click. And for the first week of Update 15.2, you will receive a 100% discount on retraining all of your commanders. So if you go to your commander, you can hit Redistribute. Do not use doubloons. Use Commander XP because it costs 0.
Yes.
So
Make sure you do not use your doubloons.
Yes. So you go to your, once you do that, you go Redistribute. For Elite Commander XP, it will cost 0. You can hit yes, and then you can redistribute to your heart's content. Do that as many times as you like for this week.
Yes. And Aishin, I saw you. Do not worry. I just wanted to let Gizmo finish off that train of thought. Here's what I'm running on the repub. I know that the lack of concealment export is a little bit scary for some players, but that is kind of how it works. Primarily, you're looking at super heavy AP. The combination of Furious and super heavy AP is kind of like the core of the build, and obviously this benefits a lot from having Repub's new legendary module right here. Not new, it's been updated. As you can see, it also extends the time that you are lit on fire by 15%. So when you get lit on fire, you just stay on fire. That's how the build that's how the build works. I really should be moving all of these.
I say, for those of you that noticed, I was gonna poke Zui with it a bit more, but he responsibly took the Thor plushie away from me. The New Year's Torpedo Longboy Tor plushie is still available if you would like one. And through the Captain's Club, you get a discount. So make sure to go check that out.
If you're interested in having a Torpillo, I know they are very popular.
Everyone loves a Tor plushie, a Torpillo, whatever you want to call it. And as far as the quick navigation sideboard in the article, yes, I know. I just wanted to make sure everyone saw all the amazing things in that article, because we're going to be covering all those during this stream.
Yes. Speaking of, why don't we go ahead and check out the new Fiume?
The new Fiume, yes. The Tier 7 Italian Heavy Fiume the Cruze. I told you I was really good at English stuff.
There she is. So Fiume is our new Tier 7 premium. She's in the event pass.
Yes, sister to Zara, which is the Tech Tree Tier 7.
Unlike the Zara, she does not have sap, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on which side of the equation you're on.
She does not have torpedoes either. Which is something that you will notice if you use your smoke and a smoke train like we did. And you get close to someone, and then you go to use the torps that you think you have, and they're not there. Also, I saw this question earlier. Does it work for CV captains or all captains? It is for all captains.
Yes, all captains.
So there, with the way the commander points work, there are no captains for specific ships. If your question is, does it only work for CV skills? No, you can reset any skills you like. So if you want to try a more AA intensive build because you think people are going to be playing carriers for this week, go nuts. If you want to then change it back to focus on torpedoes or guns or whatever else you want to set your ship to be good at, go ahead, reset as many times as you like until 1 week from patch launch on your server. And the exact time for that is available in the announcement that was made on our Discord server.
Yes. Do make sure you have the captain the way you want at the end of the week.
Yes. It's not free forever. It's just for the week.
Hi, Legionnaire.
Hi, Legionnaire. Glad to see another OSU fan.
And we've landed a T5 game again. Well, a couple of T5s.
That's true. We are top tier. Looks like a fairly balanced game. Could probably use maybe one more destroyer on each team if I was hand picking it, but in all honesty, the Fiume, to me, it feels a bit like an Italian Indianapolis.
It's definitely kind of like that. Having the 203s at this tier, especially when you run into when you're top tier, like it does feel like you're kind of like a pocket battleship. Like you overmatch a lot of cruisers. They do great damage, great pen on the AP.
You have good AP damage, and also you have a unique burst fire that not only gives you 2 bursts, but it decreases your main battery shell dispersion by 20%.
Yeah. I know some people were talking about Conde being probably subjectively the strongest of the super ships. A lot of that is because she's able to put, 24 shells in a single pixel with her burst fire.
You can just
Fiume can do that too.
Select the citadel of an enemy ship. Yes, Fiume is good. Stargates, thank you for the raid. We appreciate it.
Yes, welcome in 36 new friends into our chat. Welcome, welcome.
Club ceiling, what a shame. Look, we didn't choose to have tier 5s in this match.
They chose, actually.
They chose. They chose to be in the tier 5s. Let's see.
What is the number 5 choice? F? F, yes. This is
Yes.
your burst fire. So similar to the Condes,
Mhm.
you get 2 shots with improved main battery dispersion.
So burst fire is a mechanic that you see on obviously the Spanish cruisers. You see it on a lot of super ships, and now you have it here on the Fume. But even without the burst fire, I think her main guns are pretty darn accurate,
Well, they are as accurate as most other cruisers, which is accurate.
which is pretty accurate.
Which is accurate.
I mean, I just took a shot there at the Hiei, and what's that? 6 hits out of 8 shots fired from around about 14, 15 kilometers. I think that's a-okay.
Now let's see if I have the ballistics of this ship. I played it all of once.
And that's just my luck. I was hit, set on fire, tried to turn away, hit again, immediately set on fire after I DCP'd. I'm so sorry, Ramat. I did not mean to serve you out of your smoke screen.
So as you can see, if I had aimed slightly lower, this Kirov would probably be gone. But I did not, and thus he is still alive. Obviously, like the other burst fire ships, you do have a lengthy reload between bursts, so if you want to just maximize damage output, you do not want to have the burst fire on all the time.
Yeah, no, burst fire is generally for taking opportunistic shots rather than...
Yeah. There are select ships where that is the case, where you can kind of just leave the burst fire on and you're kind of happy to do so. The Fume is not one of them.
Fume is not one of them.
Laughs and Laffy.
Lighthouse Conde. Oh.
Lighthouse Conde
Lighthouse
is a whole beast.
That is a ship. One of the ships of all time, even. What's the conceal on Fume?
It is 12.8.
12.8 if you have concealment.
It is not
on
very
your,
stealthy.
If you have concealment on your captain,
Yes.
which I imagine we both do. Everything burns. Everything does burn. My Fume looks rather burnt. That's because, again, I'm running the Ember Core camo on her.
Yes. Ember Core is a very cool camo. It has like the sheen effect that's in a couple of the other like kind of more explosive camos, and it's really nice.
Yeah, the sort of charred areas sort of glow and burn with differing intensity. That same way that kind of happens when you do get hit with like a high caliber shell. It's the same trick as like wearing red when you're in battle to not show that you have been bleeding and you've been damaged.
True.
If you look like you've already been blown up, maybe they'll they won't see that they've hit you, and you will look more fearsome.
Now I just ate a random citadel through the rear of my ship, and I'm at half HP, so that's very cool.
Unfortunate.
There is a friend on YouTube, Pert Plays. I just want to say hello back. How are you doing?
Hello, friend. We like friends.
Yes, it's awesome when people join us from the other platforms. In case anyone was still not aware, we do stream to a whole pile of platforms, YouTube being one of them.
A pile of platforms.
Yes.
YouTube is one of them. We also stream. Where else do we stream? zuiKatsu?
Let me see. Off the top of my head,
Didn't mean to put you on the
TikTok,
spot.
Twitter, and Facebook. I'm not 100% sure if we have set up Instagram streaming yet. Right. Spotter planes do still spot. Fighters do not spot.
Yes, which is why it's good to run spotter aircraft if you have a ship with crawling smoke. So most of your Italians, I'm in hydro range of somebody, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop my surveillance aircraft to try and get eyes on whatever is hydroing me. It looks like it's that Mackinson. But yes, fighters cannot spot, spotters cannot fight. So,
True to their role.
ow.
Can we reset commanders in the reserve? As long as you can find them and click on them, you can reset them. In the reserve, I believe you have to navigate it through, like clicking one of your ships, go to the commander, check out your reserve. But I don't remember perfectly off the top of my head, but there's a little eye for like more details in each of your commanders. You'll be able to see and reset the skills from there, I believe.
Yes.
We can double check that for you once we get back into port.
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is if you have a premium ship, just use that, cycle through all your commanders, load it onto that ship, pick the skills you want, or reset it, and then just cycle through.
Ooh.
Because obviously you don't have to retrain commanders to premium ships.
So we found our friend the Tarigo. He's been terrorizing our destroyers for the whole game. And he just keeps smoking away.
Let's see. World of Tanks has barracks. Can we get an officers club for our commanders? I'm not familiar with the barrack system for World of Tanks.
Neither am I. I have never opened World of Tanks, in fact.
I opened it once recently for its 15-year anniversary, which of course coincided roughly with our 10-year anniversary, just to get all my cool goodies from our sister game there. But I am really not all that familiar with World of Tanks as a game.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I'm not very familiar with the game. There are many of our colleagues who do play both.
Yes, we have a lot of colleagues.
I just happen to not be one of them.
who, actually, some who are probably more familiar even with World of Tanks than World of Warships.
I'm facing this the low tier like dreadnought thing where they are still using like the dreadnought armor scheme where they actually have plating that's like really thick on the outsides. They're just not able to pen them.
As far as Zui and why he's not using the burst fire, again, unless you have a really good target of opportunity, there's not. You don't need to use burst fire all the time. You actually lower your DPM if you use the burst fire consistently.
Yeah,
so you want to be using.
I'm like looking at. For me, it's like if I can like one shot a ship, or if I'm going to like disengage for a while. If I plan to disengage, I will use the burst fire. Otherwise, I'm sticking to firing HE, setting my fires. You know, the usual heavy cruiser stuff.
Tanks are for those who don't know how to fire more than one cannon. You know, I would say that's true, except I'm pretty sure as of somewhat recently, they now have tanks that have more than one cannon. So.
That is kind of crazy.
I think I saw that when I logged in and got my free super mega tank, and it had like 2 main battery guns. Although I think there was even like a tier 8 premium, like Russian object something, that had 2 main battery guns, and it looked sort of like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. Yeah, that's really gonna get them all my SpongeBob references.
I was hoping for that burst fire to kill the Rio, but I had 12 non-bends. That armor is thick.
We'll say update for the prediction. If Zui gets 4 secondary hits, he will be tied with Gizmo. Gizmo managed to get 4 secondary hits.
Is this a challenge? I'm going in.
I say you did not inform, which I guess is the point. You didn't inform us of the metrics by which you were being judged.
This is a prediction market type beat.
Yeah.
now that I know what the challenge is.
We're getting some stock manipulation going on right now.
Yep. It's the same. Although you can't do that with everything. For instance, onions. You cannot get futures on onions due to the Onion Futures Act.
I'll say the last prediction was heavily weighed towards Gizmo for the most damage. And,
really?
57,000 Quackens went to TG or TSG War.
Was that because
and
I was
4 others?
I was in
that's
the
that's a
Independencia.
healthy distribution.
Yep. Everyone thinks the carrier is going to carry, which makes sense. Although I think I had a decent chunk of spotting damage, which is always the metric I try to use when I'm in my carriers. Is
I think I'm gonna risky turn in front of the Algerie. I thought I was gonna get spotted, but apparently that was not the case. The edge of this smoke screen is covering me. Oh my god, I'm so glad I have expert loader.
Yes, secondaries always. Every ship can be a secondary ship if you believe in yourself. Even the Minotaur, right? I know the ship doesn't have secondaries. You know the ship doesn't have secondaries.
What? How's he not dead?
I got the Prince Adalbert today. Love the new ships. They are one of my new favorite lines. And especially now that I have the von Zuckerhoff.
Yes, Zuckerhoff is it's the reason I play the Schlieffen sometimes. The quote-unquote Schlieffen.
The thing is, I used to have my Lucians on my Schlieffen, and I was sad when I decided to retrain him for my Prince Adalbert. But now I can switch him from the Adalbert onto the von Zuckerhoff. And so I basically just have him on both ships. I feel badly for neglecting my OG Schlieffen somewhat, just because that is a ship that's carried me through many, many, many games. Can we play a round of Unbreakable Front? Unfortunately, Unbreakable Front is over, so no, we cannot. Neptune is much stronger than Minotaur because Neptune has secondaries.
That's very true.
Yes. I so agree with that message. That is a Gizmo-approved message, ladies and gentlemen. Neptune stronger than Minotaur, strictly because it has secondaries and Minotaur does not. Secondary monster Borodino. I run my Borodino as a secondary monster. I have modules, captains, whole thing is secondary spec.
When are we going to get a brawl that's Minotaur only?
Minotaur only brawl.
Minotaur only brawl.
That would be crazy.
Would it have any modifiers other than Minotaur only, do we think? Or would it just be Minotaur only?
It should be
Secondaries
Neptune
only.
only and your main guns are disabled.
It's in torpedoes. No main guns.
It's
no
torpedoes and secondaries.
Oh, no torpedoes. Why would you use those? Either you use the torpedo that is you,
That's true.
or you use your secondaries.
This Devonshire is probably dead before I get around to him.
I was disappointed that we didn't get any secondary kills during the torpedo brawl, but I think chat was probably thankful that we didn't spend the entirety of 2 hours trying to use the single shot from our secondary guns when
Yeah.
you loaded in.
We do have a good question from Panama regarding the special stream coming on Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. If you have looked at the schedule, there is an additional stream happening that day.
If you check
That
the
will, I
armory-
believe, be run by our friends over on EU.
Yes, check the armor. You might see what that's about.
And yeah, there's a little section on the armory about it.
There's some pretty nice giveaways just for attending that stream as well. So I would highly recommend just having it on the
7
background if
overpens
you
on
can.
that burst fire. Wow.
But importantly, I'm not seeing any secondary hits.
I forgot. I was caught up in the moment. I was enjoying the AP.
But chat, you guys, for any of you who might also be streamers in chat, this is still very new to me. I'm very new to streaming. There's a lot going on, and so I'm constantly impressed by zuiKatsu and Sir Snarf and any other streamers that I watch. Obviously, we have a lot of good CCs, and I love to tune into their streams. I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, I'm learning slowly, but I have chat up. I'm talking. I'm answering questions, trying to respond to chat, trying to do gameplay, trying to pay attention to my mini map. And I feel like I need at least 3 more eyes and 4 more hands to manage all the things that are going on, and I am lacking in both.
But do you want to see your superpower?
What's that?
What was the most decorated Italian warship World War II?
Oh gosh, the most decorated Italian warship? I actually don't know that one. Italian Navy.
Never mind, I take it back.
Yeah, no, my history. If you're thinking history is my superpower, you're probably closer. Andrea Doria. Really interesting. I did not know it was the Andrea Doria, but I was gonna guess it was an Italian battleship. I was gonna guess a Roma class, but Andrea Doria makes a lot of sense. No, I was gonna ask. I do have. Oh, that was a guess. Well, in that case, we are on equal footing. But no, I do have some WoW's trivia that I was gonna try and bounce off you guys. For instance, as far as full tech tree lines, so lines that go from tier 1 to 10, so surface ships, destroyers, battleships, cruisers.
Right.
Currently, I believe we only have 2 lines where every ship was in active service. So, what 2 tech tree lines are entirely comprised of ships that were actually commissioned?
Is this a question for me?
It's a question for you.
For
and for chat.
Me? Okay.
How many Fletchers were
Let me
there?
think.
175.
I mean, that was going to be my first guess. The USN destroyers.
That is incorrect. The Nicholas, I believe, at tier 5 was not built.
Oh. Okay, there you go.
I will give you a hint, though. Both of the lines that were actually completely built, one of the lines was British GDs. You are correct.
Okay, British destroyers. That was the other guess. It was bound to be one or the other.
There is one more line that was completely built.
Completely built.
You're right. Nicholas was not real.
Is it?
Commonwealth is not true. The high tiers were not built. I'll give you a hint. It was also a DD line.
Also a destroyer line. Oh, it would be the Japanese destroyers.
The Japanese torpedo boat destroyers.
Yeah. The
So the
torpedo boat
Shimakaze
destroyers.
line, all of those were built.
Okay, that just completely glossed over it for some reason in my
Yes.
mind.
So for all of the other U.S. cruisers, nope. In the light cruisers, the Seattle was not built. In the heavy cruisers, the Buffalo was not built. Let's see other lines. I'm trying to quiz myself to see all the lines where I can say ships weren't built. For the French DDs, the Kleber was not built. All the mainline EU DDs. No, I believe it was the tier. I want to say it was the Ostergotland that wasn't built, because I know they built the Holland and then the Holland. I hope I'm pronouncing those right. Anyway, but I would say I'm only counting surface ship lines here. I have not done this for submarines and for aircraft carriers because there's fewer ships in those lines. So I'm trying to do full 10 ship lines, including branches. But that's Gizmo's trivia for the day. Ooster, I think, was started but never completed. Okay. I knew there was one of the EU DDs that was not finished in that line.
All right, we got some moment of truth. Will he get any secondary hits before he kills this boat?
No.
No, he will not.
Answer is no.
See, the problem
There's only
is
one more opportunity to get those
zuiKatsu is
secondaries.
too good at the game to get secondary hits because all of his targets are dead when he gets within range.
No. Made the wrong turn here. I thought he would come out further.
Time warp until... Okay, it is the end of March in which Europe springs forward. I think all the British subs and CVs... I don't think... Was the Audacious class built?
Damn. Female players are good. How does that only get 2?
Yeah, I know. And the ship is just launched. Audacious, yeah, Audacious was not built.
Audacious became Eagle. So I guess Audacious was real.
Huh?
The same way Regolo was real and then turned into Chateau Renault.
It turned into Chateau Renault.
Total
It metamorphosed.
232,000 Quackens being distributed
That
among
is a lot of
14
Quackens.
guessers. That's
Congratulations. That is very, very... that's a huge winning, actually. For a spread across only 14 players.
And to your point, yes, they were completed in a different configuration. So, again, I wasn't considering aircraft carriers and submarines for my little bit of trivia there. But yes, I suppose the Audacious class's ships were renamed Eagle and then launched. Okay. See, this is why I love interacting with chat, is because I learn things. And I love to learn.
How are we feeling now? What are we going in for?
Chat, any recommendations? Any ships you would like to see?
Fume is unfortunately the only one we can show of anything new coming.
Yes.
This patch, I believe. There are other ships that are coming around, but they are not off NDA yet. So
yes. So Fume is the only. You want to see? Lord Belmar says mines.
Mines.
Surcouf. F. Gonzaga. Okay,
Gonzaga.
Now we're getting a lot. Tell you what. Let's do. Let's see. Mines is tier
8. Yes.
8. Okay.
Mines is the mini Bremen.
Let's see. Fume does not have improved Pen HE shells while the burst fire is on. It only has the only adjusted thing on the burst fire is the improved accuracy.
Getting the Pola to complete the Matapan trifecta. That is still missing.
That is true. But this is the battle pass, or the battle pass. I keep thinking battle pass. We are not
Event
Fortnite.
pass.
The event pass is Cape Matapan themed, so we can quickly go over some of the items in that. We have the Fume at the halfway point in the line. You have a really cool looking skin for the Jervis at the 15 stage mark, which I think looks really, really cool. It is a D-Day themed skin.
I do think the Jervis skin is really cool.
A lot of detail on it. I love having like all the shell casings on the ground or on the deck, I suppose.
Yeah, that is correct. We have not disclosed how you will be able to get Fort Worth.
That is correct. The ship was just announced, but the resource has not been announced. And those of you who have been around since the Italian battleships were released might recognize this skin, but I still think it looks excellent. the Legion skin for the Veneto. I believe I have the skin on my Lepanto, but I do not have the Colombo version, which does make me sad because I would love to have this on the Colombo.
Eastern Dragon is a Myoko clone, one of many.
Yes.
But it's an old
Eastern
like
and
premium
Southern Dragon.
version of Myoko that came around in one of the very early Lunar New Year events, alongside her many Myoko clone cousins.
Yeah, you had Eastern and Southern Dragon, and then you had, I think there were 4 of them from the original ARP
Yes.
collab.
Well, let's get into a battle. You said tier 8.
Tier 8. Yeah, we should get into a battle. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick...
Since someone asked, I will play the mines. She's one of my favorites.
You pay the mines. I will bring my...
You guys might be noticing a pattern with the ships I like. But
Yeah. I'll bring my Anthold, one of my favorites.
I don't hide it very much.
Yeah. I don't hide it very well either. Bring another German ship for our friend from
we do a sport
72.
boat one of these days.
Our friend from Germany.
Ones where you play wave in the back end farm. That is correct.
That is the zuiKatsu way.
If you guys want to guess what ship I play the most in clan battles, I will let you have that. Go ahead and drop
I don't think
a guess in chat.
You're not gonna let them have it because you need to keep it so you can keep playing it in clan.
Back when I was playing with Gaishi's clan. I'll let a couple more guesses through.
See, Venezia, Shima, Minnow, Napoli, Des Moines, Schlieffen.
Hinden is my most played in randoms. That would be a very easy guess, but it is not the right answer.
Kitakami.
Kitakami.
Now
That's
would be
a
choice
hot
for
that's a
clans.
hot pick.
That would be a hot take and a half.
Nap or Kleb. I think it's been mentioned a couple times. It is Napoli.
Yep.
I am actually
Alliance. Snarf, you don't get to make alliance jokes until we get you in the alliance. Okay, you need to suffer like we have suffered.
I do reset the UK minnow line. Yes, I do that. I think particularly the reason why I do that is because I reset the Haragumo line every season to free XP, just because that's like the most efficient way to do so to get your research points, turn your free XP into research points. The other line that I reset is the minnow line because I think the mid tiers are very good. It's kind of like the main reason. I enjoy playing through the mid tiers.
Back up to the Edinburgh now,
Yes, back up to Eden right
We were
now.
doing some divisioning up. Remember earlier chat when I said I was pretty good at English?
But yeah, by and large, I was Napoli. I was like the one of 2 off flank cruiser players in our clan, so, and definitely the more active of the 2. So I played tons and tons and tons of Napoli.
Uh-oh, my PC froze. Oh, okay, good.
And some hiccups.
Just a little bit of a hiccup. Speaking of chat, what is the best way to get rid of hiccups? Because everyone says, oh, it's scaring the person, but if you have the hiccups, I just assume I become the most paranoid person. I assume everyone near me is going to try and scare me to cure the hiccups, and then it doesn't work. But I will say, before stream last week, I had a case of hiccups that lasted for a good hour or so.
I think I slowed down into that shot.
So, what is the
have
best
my
way to
help.
cure hiccups? I'm curious. Hold your breath. I've tried that. Breathe into a bag, get drunk, and then you forget. Massage your diaphragm. I assume you mean diaphragm.
Diaphragm sounds like the right word there.
Hiccups happen because your belly is cold. Interesting. One that does work for me and is interesting is the whole thing with your diaphragm. Apparently, part of it is the it's back from when you needed to sort of remember to breathe, back when animals were like fish, ancient fish ancestors, and so a lot of animals, land animals get the hiccups, but fish don't. So if you just think that you're underwater or think that you're a fish, and maybe it's because I'm so distracted, I don't know, but I just start thinking that imagining I'm a fish, and eventually it has like a 60% rate, so it's slightly better than a placebo of curing my hiccups.
Better than placebo is a hard bar to beat.
And also, I get to pretend I'm a fish for a little while, which I find is very relaxing. Hold your breath and press against the hiccup so the air can escape with the next hiccup. Interesting.
Drink a glass of water upside down against the top of your mouth.
Oh, my parents used to try and make me do that, and I would just end up choking on the water.
Yeah.
That was the homeschool remedy that I was always taught, was the drinking water upside down.
Welcome, welcome, Revan. Nice to see familiar faces. I'm gonna try to keep this island between me and the angry battleships.
I'm gonna get a little closer, but I don't want to get too much closer because that Yarsveld's gonna start dropping planes on my head, I imagine.
Well, he has plenty of targets, so
That's
you're
true.
not the only one.
This is a target-rich environment for Yarsveld. I wish I had AP loaded, but I'm in an anthill, and that means that HE is my natural state.
Yeah, unlike the rest of the line, actually.
Yeah, Antholt's an interesting premium. You are very long. You are not very maneuverable,
As we can see.
as we can see. I'm moving, I slowed down a bit there, but I'm still moving at a breathtaking 15 knots. I have mine built for secondaries because of course I do, but if you were going to build any German battleship not for secondaries, Anhalt might be one of the ones to do it.
One of my ex-clan mates did mention a main gun build Schlieffen to me.
Your ex-clanmate sounds like a coward.
Because it has battlecruiser dispersion.
Just,
I guess it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you could also have like non-fat ice cream and not put any toppings on it. But I prefer to have a little bit of joy. So, where's the joy? Where's the whimsy? That's the other thing about battleships, is you do take a lot of HE damage and a lot of fires.
I'm attempting to set said fires. Unfortunately, Massachusetts is quite good at tanking them. If there's one ship in the game to be in a battleship getting farmed, Massachusetts would be definitely one of the better ones to tank that kind of damage in. As the fast heals, good DCP.
Are you guys working on a new commander that will match Ovechkin's perks since Ovechkin's unobtainable? I don't believe so, but never say never.
Never say never. Also, the U.S. has a lot of improved captains.
That's true, but wasn't he dual? There was two, right? There was one
There was
for
Ovechkin Russia, Ovechkin,
Ovechkin
U.S. Yeah.
US. Do jumping jacks upside down while drinking salt water through a paper straw. Legionnaire.
The more complex it is, the better.
Your parents also. No Giz, your parents just wanted an excuse to nail your feet to the rafters so I wouldn't get in trouble. I was not the kid that was getting in trouble. I was too much of a goody two-shoes as a kid. Very large, not maneuverable. Commissar, is that you? I would say the Anhalt turns worse than a Commissar, but man, the Commissar makes that a close decision.
Commissar is kind of huge.
Commissar has that other problem of being very long and very narrow, which means you have a terrible turning circle.
It's also not armored for all intents and purposes.
It is not armored, but it has great guns, which I think is overlooked because people see it's a hybrid and they think, oh, just planes.
Yeah.
But you're basically just a Moskva, but with 4 turrets.
So the actual damage output and the way you use the guns is pretty similar to Hindenburg actually in Commissar. Her nominal HE damage output is pretty close. The HE shells have really good alpha. Her reload's slower, but her alpha is higher compared to Hindenburg, and she does have.
But she has 220 millimeter guns, right? So it's
40
caliber.
I think they're 40.
That was the French.
Yes.
Well, we will check this when we get back to port.
Yeah.
But
am I wrong about that? Does I swear Commissar had larger guns. Someone in chat, help me out here.
I'm back in port because I died, and I do have Commissar. Commissar is an interesting ship. She's a very weird ship. She does have 240s. Okay,
There you go.
It's the Petra that has 220s,
Yeah.
and the Moskva that has 220s. I don't know why. I guess I know exactly why I thought they would be the same. I need to check something on the Fume real quick in response to a point from one of our Twitch mods. I'll be darned. Okay. They apparently, it is not listed on the burst fire itself, but
It'd be on the shells, right?
it is apparently on the shells. They do have improved armor pen. The HE shells have an extra 20 millimeters of pen, so they go up to 54
Yes.
millimeters of HE pen. So your AP shells just
No.
get the better dispersion, but your HE shells get better dispersion and better pen,
Yes.
which I guess it makes the Fume a much better destroyer killer than I would have thought.
Well, better pen doesn't matter that much against destroyers.
No, but it means I'm more likely to have HE loaded.
I guess.
I didn't think the one key existed on the Fume until now.
Before you guys move on, what was your spotting damage?
Ooh, spotting damage.
I think
The game's not
Gizmo
over
took
yet.
The
that
game is not
again.
over yet.
So we'll have to see.
I have a feeling Gizmo snuck away with that one as well.
Yeah, I was in a battleship and spotting with my face, so
That tends to be like I feel like spotting damage, like because of the way it's awarded. If people aren't aware, spotting damage is awarded to the player to you if someone else is doing damage to someone that you are spotting, only if they would not otherwise see the target. There's like that key phrase there,
Just
like the
take a
only
turn.
if thing. So it's entirely possible that he, a battleship is doing a lot of spotting, at least farming a lot of spotting damage.
I
gonna
vaguely
take
remember
a-
Gizmo getting around 12k,
Okay,
and I didn't see
Yeah.
any on yours.
we
so
will check. It
I
is
have snuck
we'll
away with
check
it.
as soon as that battle ends. We might jump into another battle first.
yes.
Um,
Tier 9. Do I have any tier 9s lying around?
Oh, sure you do. You have 262 ships. I'm sure you have one of them sitting that you can throw in a battle.
Sure. Let's
Um,
see. I will bring our good friend the Georgia.
I'll say the
I need to
nine.
double check if this is secondaries or not.
No.
It is. Oh.
Actually, I don't know the nature of the mechanic that way.
Let me see.
I think it is if you are doing the spotting, you get spotting damage.
Yeah, so
But otherwise, it can't be by more than one person.
yeah, that's correct.
If the person who initially was doing the spotting and getting the spotting damage loses sight, and then you are the one who is ensuring the ship is spotted, it will transfer to you, and you will start accruing the spotting damage, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah. Spotting damage gets split if, for example, 2 DDs can see the target. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about that. You can probably try it out in the training room, but it is not a very intuitive intuitive counter
Yes.
in most cases. So
But I do tend to get more spotting damage in my battleships than I do in cruisers, but those are both less than destroyers. And also, I think just due to our relative preferred playstyles, I like being in secondary battleships and
Yeah.
being very close. You tend to be in kiting/farming
That's true,
cruisers,
yeah.
which getting spotting damage in those typically means that everyone else is dead.
yeah. But more importantly, you need to be spotting for someone who's like actively doing the damage while you are
Yeah.
spotting. That's like kind of the other thing.
Yeah, damage is a key word there, because just spotting the ship means nothing if no one is shooting at them. And I'm sure we've all had that experience of having an enemy ship spotted and just hoping that someone will shoot at them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, as long as you're spotting, you'll get spotting damage if they can't see the target. I assume this applies even if there are other people spotting the same ship, as long as the person doing the damage cannot see it. That is the key thing. As I said before. First time I see a wargame I'm playing with just 5 days premium. I know. I don't know what happened to all my premium time.
Wait, you only have 5 days of
yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Existing, I guess, and not getting premium time.
That's something that I saw and addressed in our Discord earlier. We don't have press accounts. That's people who think we just have all the ships unlocked by default and everything. You know, I have all of the tier 10s unlocked as of recently, but I didn't just, I didn't get handed those. Now, I probably have a little more time to play the game than most, but we don't, does Sir Snarf have a press account? No.
If you want me to give him one with only an alliance on it, I can make it happen.
We can give him.
And I can never log into it.
Joke's on you. We're gonna make sure the next stream, your stream PC can only log into that account.
I know where you sit.
Yeah, I know that the big thing that gives a ton of premium time is like Christmas boxes, around like anniversary and Christmas time, and I did not participate in either of those this past year, so that's probably why. I am spotted. My detection goes through kind of like this semicircle.
I am not yet, but my spotting takes up most of the cap, so they are probably right on that far edge of it.
And I'm about to get half my HP removed by a Vermont.
I say the Nanning is an interesting destroyer. I quite like it. It has fairly strong AP and torpedoes that go so incredibly slowly. They are basically sea mines. They have a top speed of 45 whole knots. Also, I completely forgot I have RPF. I know exactly where the enemy is.
I think I just have to eat a broadside shot here and turn away because I am all of one battleship up here, and there's definitely like 4 on the enemy team. So I'm going to make my way out of here, at least out of close range of the Kremlin, because that's very scary. It's a submarine. Got pinged.
Oh, yeah, he's right there. I wonder how close the enemies are, or if I can get on top of that submarine without being spotted. There is nothing. One of the most satisfying things to me is to just roll over a submarine. And
it is kind of cool.
That being said, I've definitely been caught out by said submarine's friends.
Yeah, of which there are many on this cap.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, I'm hydroed by that.
The Z52.
Z52.
You old hydro smoke trap.
Oh, and now I'm radared. Oh, that's got to be the Gustav Den Store. Den Store? Again, my Swedish is worse than my Spanish, and neither are good.
Well, my pot shot into the Z52 smoke didn't yield anything, so.
See, I'm just gonna. I know that I'm still radared, but I was counting on the radar.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's submarine is right behind me, and
that is very scary.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, this is bad. Oh my.
All sorts of torps.
All sorts of torpedoes. I don't know why I thought the Z52 had already fired his torps. He had not.
That leaves me as the next torpedo target, which is
unfortunate.
Scary. Now, Z52, we can't know what he's built, but the legendary mod Z52 does throw a torpedo salvo every 45 seconds. So.
Ragnar Hammersbane, congratulations, you have been promoted to submarine. Yes, I wanted to fight the submarine, and then I was submarine.
So I think I will be the scum and slide off the border here to turn around. Well, at least while I have my engine boost up.
Border hugging in your Georgia, tisk 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 indeed.
I am being tisk tisked.
Shame.
Perhaps rightfully, but I need to not be here.
I agree. Yes, in order to fight the submarine, I had to become submarine myself. It was the only way. I could not hit him with my sword unless I submerged myself. And yes, the Z52 does have a pretty quick torpedo reload.
Yeah, even without the leg mod, it is pretty fast reloading torps. They're not enormous. They don't have enormous alpha.
Yeah, I think it took 2 to, along with the submarine torps behind me.
but they reload quite quickly. They're 10.5 kilometers, which is a little short in today's like 12-kilometer radar age, but they're usable. It's mostly the volume.
Yeah, I say the Z52 was the last tier 10 ship that I unlocked.
Oh, nice.
But it was recent, and I am just learning it. I have that, and now I of course have the, not of course, but I now unlocked the Neon Paradox Sharky.
Sharky?
Sharky.
I don't know.
My Chinese also not great.
I don't think that's a Chinese word.
I took a couple of semesters of Chinese in high school, and it's off.
That's about it.
Embarrass myself. Mr. Wargaming, what can I do to get the Hildebrand? Currently,
Nothing.
so
It's not available.
I would advise you to wait.
I think that for the first time this game, my second days will open up, so that's kind of cool.
But also, I would say for a first-time chatter, hello. And also, Mr. Wargaming was my father. Please just call me Wargaming.
Just kind of throwing depth charges in random places. See what happens.
Yes. As far as Aldeus, I also prefer legendary mods that alternate playstyle. That's why I say my two favorite legendary mods that I have are for the Elbing, because that pretty radically changes your playstyle.
Yes, that is true.
And the Guden Lu. And I think the Guden Lu one is obvious. Everyone just loves more airstrike. You gotta lean.
It's kind of like the flavor of the ship.
Right. You gotta lean into what makes your ship good. And don't get me wrong, I think the guns on the Guden Lu get a bad rap because they can be inaccurate.
This sub is like right behind me. It's like actually right here.
It seems to be somewhat interested in you. Although I think he's a bit close considering how little those torpedoes did.
Ah, well, no, they were on the rear.
They were on the rear, but it was an archer fish.
Yeah.
I feel like his torpedoes do, well, actually no, they were homing torpedoes.
Yeah.
And the archer fish's homing torpedoes do very little.
No, I'm surprised our Des Moines survived his encounter with the Vermont, to be honest. But generally, that doesn't go in the cruiser's favor. Look at these torps go.
Oh, Koopy Zeke. Hello. For those of you that were unaware, Koopy was one of my old, was a clan I was in. And so, Zeke, it is good to see you. Good hearing your voice again. Good to be here, dude.
8 kills on an archerfish. That's crazy. 8 is a lot.
8 is a lot. It's higher than 6 and 7. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I
just realized.
I saw my chance and I took it. That was I should go. I didn't know where to go though. Was that? Do I get a? Oh, I gotta get out. Yeah. No, I see that. You guys can do basic math. I know, it surprises me too. Basic math, basic English. We are, in fact, basic.
Oh my god.
Now, our Shimikaze, interestingly enough, is doing that classic Shimikaze maneuver of being in the enemy spawn at completely full health.
It is at this time where I'm grateful I am in a Georgia and I have fast heals.
That is true. Georgia is good at that. Georgia's a good ship. I remember when Georgia came out, I was so hyped, and I still love going back to that, going back to the well on the Georgia and just enjoying it. Because I think it's a fun ship. It's got a very unique play style. I don't think there's anything else, certainly in the US tech tree, that plays quite like it.
It is pretty unique.
Like I remember when Ohio came out, people thought, oh, it's just a bigger Georgia, but you don't have the speed boost. You just don't have the maneuverability. I think Georgia occupies a different zone of play than Ohio does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like in the realm with like Incomp, in my opinion, is like a really fast like flank battleship. Obviously Incomp can't build secondaries as well as Georgia can.
Yes.
Um, it has its trade-offs. Incomp obviously instead of secondaries has insane overmatch.
Good advice there from Ragnar. You should try and avoid those red things in the water.
There's a lot of them. They're hard to
There's
avoid.
a lot of them.
I am not.
Typical thing with the red
doing
things in the
well
water
with
is
my
that they
aim
are
here.
by definition hard to avoid because they are trying not to avoid you. You are in fact the target. Um, oh yes, I had a whole 580 damage there. Perhaps not my best. Let's see, spotting damage in the on-halt. Detailed report.
I had none.
Uh,
So if you had one,
I had 15,230.
there you go. Your DM, by the way. Well played, man. I thought you were toast as soon as that Vermont came around the corner, but survived him. And yeah, I mean, like having without like a specific like cruiser or your own submarine to like really chase away a destroyer, it is very, very difficult. Sorry, not destroyer, a submarine. Like if they decide to just sit there and torpedo your bow, there's not a lot you can do other than run.
Also, 580 damage. No.
That was the other way
Zui
around.
got fourth on the team. I was, I was, to put it charitably, I was not fourth place on the team.
I'm just going to give some investment advice to chat. So if you're going to make a prediction, think of which one you're going to choose and then do the opposite. And I think you're going to do better because that was 308,000 Quackens going to another 14 people.
We're simply redistributing the wealth today.
Yeah, we are embracing that spirit and taking from those that have to give that to the. We're like the Robin Hood of Quackens.
All right. What's up next? Does anyone have any other suggestions?
We could run double alliance.
I don't have an alliance.
Oh, you don't have one either. Okay, then I'll run an alliance. I'll suffer for it. I've got to put my money where my mouth is because I've been telling Snarf that he needs to play
Alliance is tier 8, yeah?
It is tier 8.
Okay.
And I have not played Alliance on stream yet. And so I think I need to own up and I need to put some Alliance gameplay onto the stream.
Then I will continue my grind. Hop in the Edinburgh. I don't think I will burn an Ember Core on it.
See, I do have equipment on this thing. I don't even know what to do with this, to be honest.
Why not double carrier? Actually, if you want to drop us out of queue, I'll queue the carrier. We'll be the scum div.
Okay.
Since I'm grinding that line as well. I have Yorktown to play.
We need all the CMs to have an alliance. I know. It's a disgrace that we don't. But again, that goes to show we don't have all the ships. I wish we did.
Now, I will reset my commander here since they have changed. I believe enhanced reaction is now like a little bit difficult to justify. Just because it takes longer for your fighters to arrive. So I took that off.
Interesting. Okay.
What else do I want? In Yorktown.
I have a challenge for you. Try to get 150,000 damage secondaries only in the Hanover. Well, I know Zui has a Hanover.
I don't actually.
You don't have a Hanover?
No, I haven't researched the line.
Oh, I thought you had all the super ships.
I'm trying to get there, but
neither one of us have a Hanover.
I have no idea how to build carriers because I don't play this. I don't play this class
Cthulhu,
much.
I don't know if you're trolling or because I thought I saw you in chat earlier when I was saying this, but I'll go ahead and say it again. No, we do not have press accounts. Our accounts are our own, and so all the ships, certainly all the tech tree ships that we have, we had to grind those lines ourselves. So the fact that I have all of the tech tree lines just means that I've put a lot of time and effort over the years that I've been playing this game. you know, I've been playing since closed alpha, and I would hope that by now I would have all the tier 10 ships, even if I'm getting, you know, only a couple a
Yeah.
year.
For what it's worth, the only reason I don't have Hanover is I
You didn't
was
want to.
not planning on buying it.
Yeah.
And by the time I wanted to buy all the super ships, GK was no longer the tier 10 in the line.
Oh, yeah.
I
you'd
just
have to
never
go-
I never bothered to research pricing.
Bryson, yeah, you have to go through it again. And the alliance is sadness. Yeah.
Properly use a Tiger 59. I would imagine you play it much like a Minotaur, just worse.
Yeah. No, that's
You, and
it
definitely
is,
the smoke
called
smoke
out.
Minotaur.
it is a
Saying
worse
you specifically will play it worse.
Minotaur. Well, I don't know how we're going to do it because we're fighting a literal god.
Yeah, that is true.
So winning seems difficult. It's worth noting, I think I might have one match in the alliance total. I really don't know a lot about the ship.
Yes, and I am by no means as good at CV as I am in service ships. I'm trying to get the hang of them, but
Well, now that we have some new carrier mechanics, it's a great time to learn.
yeah, good time to learn. Hello, Oskons. How's it going?
So let's see. So the sub itself, 32.5 knots, not super slow, but not super fast. The torpedoes seem, well, the homing torpedoes are slow. That's 42 knots on those homing torpedoes. That's pretty rough.
I'm gonna have Ashkans do some live judgment of zuiKatsu's CV gameplay.
Oh no. The best tier 10 is a tier 9, Jean Bart. That is a classic. Jean Bart was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very, very strong when she came out. There are a lot of new ships since then, though. Some, I would argue, are significantly better.
Yeah, I don't know, tier 9, like, in terms of, like, what's meta strong, it's probably not the strongest, but I love my Michelangelo at tier 9. I think the Michelangelo is a very strong ship.
Whoa.
There's not, I say it's not super fast because I played the U4501. So, I'm pretty confident in saying that the Alliance is not super fast.
Do you have a friend in your... What's it called with you? In your cap? That's the question.
Well, I'm going to have fighters here soon, hopefully. Because there are aircraft spotting me, and I don't appreciate that.
Yep, fighter is on its way. They do take a little while to approach.
I'm getting shot at. I'd prefer if I wasn't, to be honest.
Optio.
Oh, you just dinged me.
Now, the other thing that has changed about carriers, alongside the big changes to fighters, are evasive maneuvers. It's your new like replacement for the heel.
Am I just a gold? I completely forgot you were in the carrier. I'm like, how nice of our friendly carrier got fighters on me. Usually they aren't aware of the submarines. Just completely forgetting that my good buddy zuiKatsu is covering me with fighters. I'm sorry, you were saying before I completely...
Yeah, so evasive maneuvers is the consumable that has replaced the heel on all of the carriers.
And hybrids.
Yes, and hybrids, yes.
Anyone that had a heel on your aircraft.
And it essentially gives you damage reduction. Instead of giving you the ability to heal through strikes, you get damage reduction during the consumable. But that means that like you can't like take a torpedo squadron and just go bully a flank for like 2 minutes straight with a single heal consumable. It's no longer a thing, but you do get a little bit better active defense against AA when you're in your strike.
Only recently got the Satsuma to realize that main does like 2 times the damage. Main is a pretty darn strong ship.
Yes.
Satsuma, when it comes to sniping, it's a very, very strong ship, but I don't think you're going to suffer in comparison, you know, to the Satsuma if you're driving the main.
I think I will just burn this tactical squadron to try to light a fire in this NC.
try and torpedo our friend in the Scharnhorst here. He's just going to keep the island right exactly in the way. How dare he pay attention and have an idea where I am? I think he should cease doing that.
Heal does the same thing, in fact. Yeah, I think as far as I can tell, the evasive maneuvers is generally just like it's providing the same amount of protection for your planes during your strikes, but obviously is less flexible for you to like, oh, and I just watched our encounter get one shot. But it's less flexible for you to like heal after striking when you're like dealing with a flank full of ships, for example. It's overall, it's like the same amount of protection during strikes and less protection outside of them, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, the Tulsa just realized why
If you are on Asia and you can't get into the game, it's because you are currently under maintenance. The game will be up and you will be in 15.2 after the maintenance ends, obviously.
I don't think we did Tulsa particularly dirty. I mean, it's a mini Des Moines. And Des Moines is a great ship. I remember enjoying I guess I haven't played Tulsa in a little bit, but I played a lot of Tulsa during the Press 9 to pay respects mission. Press 9 to Poi. And part of the reasoning behind the evasive maneuvers consumable is that if you had aircraft that flew into your AA and they used the heal, you would see big damage numbers and probably not a lot of happening. Things happening. You wouldn't see aircraft shot down because they were healing, and so it didn't provide a lot of feedback for surface ships that they were actually doing anything. Now with the evasive maneuvers, if you stop seeing big damage numbers because the aircraft are using their evasive maneuvers consumable, then that means that they've used that consumable, and so you'll have some sense of feedback.
Yeah, and worth noting is like the aircraft do have like a little animation that plays as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like looking for them, you can't see them actually taking evasive maneuvers. It does provide a little bit more visual clarity, whereas the heal is just like their HP is going up, and it's not like you can see the plane HP as a service ship anyway.
So this is, part of the philosophy of this is to give more feedback to surface ships.
The big damage would give XP. I believe XP is rewarded for plane kills. If you're getting similar number of plane kills, the actual damage dealt to planes doesn't factor into it, as far as I know.
I think it does, but it's not huge. I think shooting down like an FDR
Like the ribbons
does do more than
Oh,
shooting
really?
down, but it's not a lot, I don't think.
Okay.
I got Victoria from Mystery Job. Nice early birthday present.
Oh, congrats.
Well, happy birthday on Saturday. I know we're a little early for you, but happy early birthday. W indeed.
So far, I have to admit, I'm glad I haven't played Alliance. This looks thrilling.
It's it's not been the most white knuckle, intense.
How did I not hit the constellation? What? I suppose it is a pretty maneuverable ship.
This is gameplay. Ow. That's a depth charge. That's gonna hurt. Ow. And people keep sinking the ships before my torpedoes can get there because they are slow. There we go. I'll use my ping. Oh, even the ping is slow. What is this ship?
Using my smoke to cover me. Rough seas, waves rock your guns and make it harder to hit targets. That's kind of simulated in the cyclone, or not cyclone, the thunderstorm event. Your dispersion is significantly worse during those events, and your spotting bloom goes down very quickly.
Can you still see the enemy ship through smoke cones? Various types of smoke can be deployed, and yes, you can still see ships through them depending on a couple of things, you know, like them firing their guns.
Yep. So every ship has its own like smoke firing bloom.
And it also depends, are they in the smoke or are they behind the smoke? So if you're in the smoke, you are subject to your smoke firing penalty. If you are behind it, it works a little differently.
Yeah, it's essentially an island. It's a line of sight blocker. I'm not getting great attack angles on this constellation.
That's okay, I'm not either. Again, I'm not getting particularly great angles on anybody. Alliance Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Do planes trigger the smoke firing penalty? No, they do not.
Oh, found the sub. I have no idea if my torpedoes will arm in this little...
Am I gonna ram him? Come on, let me get this.
do.
Yes! Aha! Alliance Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I got a kill. I got a kill in the Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad we didn't get that on stream, but that's okay. So I can now say I have more kills in the Alliance than anyone else on the North American CM team. I am the record holder. Yep, you're right. No need to buff Alliance. I just proved it. I got a kill. I got 2 caps. Clearly, it's a masterful ship. Just slowly sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Congratulations, you got damage and Alliance in your first game. A feat neither you or I could do on stream. I think this is my second game of all time in the Alliance. It's certainly my first game on stream. My net kills is still 0. Well, fortunately, I don't count net kills. I count total kills, and my total kills are 1.
The Pioneer is currently missing from the North American Armory. This is an issue that we are aware of.
This is not the ship you're looking for.
But it is not intended to be missing. It'll come back. It's just a little bit of a bug with the armory that we noticed come patch day. And I'm out of torpedo bombers as I did that little stunt flying over the constellation to hit the Eniton. Not a good idea.
Let's see. Vanguard and Valparaiso equal the best BBs in bad weather. Historically prefer Vanguard. I'm not... that's an interesting bit of history, but I'm not sure of the story behind it. So if you could please elaborate, I would appreciate that.
Yeah. Check in like in a day or 2, and Pioneer should be back. It's just I have no idea why. No one's really sure why it suddenly disappeared.
And that is how Gizmo became the only person who plays the Alliance on stream for the NA office, because he's the best player. I salute you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm the only person who plays it on stream because I'm the only person who owns one, because I'm the only person who made the decision to get an Alliance. Couldn't
get my planes out in time. Knock out corpse with depth charges. That is interesting counterplay.
Yes. Very, very team play. That would be...
Yeah. I mean, it sounds interesting to me.
I have a feeling you landed.
Then...
Did you land more than 0?
How did you get a kill without torpedo?
I rammed him. I used the most effective homing torpedo the Alliance has.
Fair enough.
Infinitely more damage and is much easier to actually hit with.
I mean, you got a lot more XP than I did.
I got 2 caps.
Oh yeah, caps will definitely do it. And submarines
And
also
I got,
do have like the basic boot.
what was your spotting damage? I'm curious.
spotting damage.
Probably much more than me in a carrier.
Let's
but
see. Spotting damage 11k. So actually not that much.
I got 14. I
Ooh.
outspotted you in a submarine? No kidding.
Ooh. You want to see the ship rock? I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of the like rocking back and forth in the waves effect. The smaller ships do it a lot more, in battle. I know when we added that, it was a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
So people are kind of confused about do the ships like hitboxes move like that?
No, it's just the animation. Also now, because I gotta make sure I have this sorted out. I believe it was I said it earlier. I believe it was the Ostergalten that wasn't built. Nope, I was wrong. There was one of the. I know it was one of those ships wasn't built.
Great job with the Yorktown. I don't know. Like I don't really have a good like frame of reference for like what is good and bad in carrier. So I just kind of like play, and if I win, I'm happy, and if I lose, I'm not. That's just kind of how it is.
Whereas I try to be happy even if I lose. Because if I wasn't happy when I lose, I would have a miserable time. Where was it?
All right. Anyone have still? Like we're always looking for suggestions on ships. So.
Yes. Also, it was the tier 6, the Basras, that was not built for the pan-European.
So you were sure it was that line, just not sure which ship it was.
Basras and the Scan.
We probably have time for one more match before we go raid Mini Hannibals for their 30th birthday.
Very
Doing
nice.
a raid today.
Want to just do a tier 10?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's see. I think Snarf said it would be interesting for me to play a torpedo boat. So let's do that.
See, I'll bring something I don't usually bring. Let's see, a tier 10.
Do it. Kunming.
That's not a tier 10.
It's close enough.
I don't own a Kunming. I assume you're talking to zuiKatsu.
Zui just got it.
I did just buy it.
My favorite boat.
It is your favorite boat.
You know, it looks so cool with that.
Where is she?
Actually,
did I forget to favorite? Did I not favorite her yet? That's probably why.
Let's see. I will bring a battleship that is the antithesis of my usual tier 10 battleship experience. The Bungo. zuiKatsu should play Alliance now. I'm sure he has it. zuiKatsu has 5 days of premium time. He doesn't have a lot of things.
Don't know how that happened.
Technically, the Tirpitz is a torpedo boat. Every ship is a torpedo boat if you're brave enough.
That's true.
Every ship is equipped with at least one torpedo.
What do I just click on? Duncan. Go away.
Is it a poi check in chat? Poi?
Poi?
Poi? Played Alliance and you got more than 0 damage. Yes, you're darn right I'm happy. Play for fun, not to win or lose. I agree. Although I will say, prefer to win. Try. It's more fun to win than to lose. I think you should still have fun even if you lose, because if you fought well, it's still a good time.
Yeah. IJ and zuiKatsu and makes me play. I mean, that's where the name comes from. So yes. I mean, yeah, I would like that too. Even though I'm not much of a carrier player.
I do see the shout out about the torpedo. So the Longboy, I will drop a link and pin it. But if you guys want that to come into existence, I think we are actually pretty far away from hitting the minimum. Because I do think you need a minimum of 200 for them to get shipped out.
There is
last I checked, we were like 84. So
if you want
one,
the Longboy, you need to convince other people to go buy it too.
No, that went down the wrong pipe. Excuse me. But I say I reserve my Longboy. I want my Longboy, and so I need you all to want your Longboy. Boy. Excuse me.
Oh. Kunming. What do you do? You're a big yang.
And I have one of the sniperiest tier 10 battleships.
Yeah, definitely so. We have a FDR on the enemy team. It's kind of cool. Definitely a couple more of those floating around than I'm used to because of I believe it's because of the Naval Museum Atlas.
Yes, if you got the mission for the FDR and for any of the Naval Museum Atlas ships, It is a rental for, I believe it's the month, or 3 battles, whichever comes first.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you play 3 battles in the ship and it disappears, that is why. It's enough just to give you a bit of a taste test. Darlith, do you think that was not exactly my intention? Also, Therbach47, wishing you good luck with your surgery tomorrow. I hope everything goes well.
Oh, FDR has come back for me. So I think I will get plane spotted here. It is an Elbing, which I'm...
Do modules match
Okay
to a
with.
rental auto demap? Yes, they do. So, ooh, got a Citadel immediately on the enemy launch deck. So, if you mount secondaries to a rental, and the rental goes away, they are demounted automatically. And in fact, this was something that was done a lot when the Cleveland rental happened for the original In the Name of Tomorrow events. If there is a time where you have a rental and at the same time there is a discount on modules, what you can do is just get modules on all of those rentals, and then as soon as they go away, you will have the modules back in your account and you will have had them at a discount. So it's a good time. If you need to stock up and you have rentals, make sure to use, or if there's a discount you want to stock up and you have rentals, you can use them to help you do that. Nakamov is playing very aggressively, which I guess in a Russian carrier you do have to do a bit, but
Yeah, it does help you increase your damage output, much more so than the other carriers.
I'm trying to give him a bit of AA cover here. Enemy FDR is dedicated, it would seem. Also dedicated to eating a lot of flak.
I mean, if there is one carry to do that in.
That's true. If you're going to be eating flak, the FDR is where it's at. Also, if you're going to be sniping the enemy CV, it seems like that's another good trick. Now, it looks like a lot of the enemy BBs and things that I'm going to want to snipe are on the other flank, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the ship around. Again, not concerned about doing a bit of karaoke because I am not good enough singer for us to get DMCA'd. Historically, Russian carriers got so close that they operated on land. Good point. Now, Sweet, can you tell me a bit more about the Kunming? Just because I know it's Snarf's favorite ship.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so
you're new to
Kunming
it.
is the Pan-Asian super ship of the destroyer line. I'm like right next to this Elbing. I'm trying to see if I can catch sight of him as he fires, but I think his smoke firing detection is just a bit too big. Too small rather, but it's essentially a big Yang. It fires a crap load of torpedoes.
A crap load. Is that a metric unit?
Yeah, that's an objective. That's a measurement.
Okay, I know you're Canadian, so you use the metric system. So I didn't-
Yeah.
What's
exactly.
one metric crap load?
It's like half of an imperial crap load.
Gotcha. Okay. So you fire one metric crap load of torpedoes. What else do you do?
Her guns are useful at close range. I think that's about as far as I'll take it.
Ouch. But okay.
For example, here, like against an Elbing, I know Elbing's damage output is like not like fantastic with HE. So as long as I don't give him his AP shots on me, which I'm trying to do by turning, so it's a fight I'm willing to take. And now that he's been driven out,
Now zuiKatsu may die, but that is a risk I am willing to take. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go ahead and creep forward a little bit here. Oh, and goodness gracious, almost forgot to show this off in the stream. I know earlier we were watching zuiKatsu and he didn't have these enabled, but if you look on the top of my screen, you will see the score timer. And the other thing is the detection bloom is there underneath the. Why am I forgetting the word? The aimer, the crosshair. It's gracious. Apparently, I'm so good at English that I just, I'm so good at speaking it. I'm so good at knowing all of the words. I think I know, all of them, as evidenced by that complete masterful control of the English language there. Chat, do you guys ever have that thing where you stare at a word or you've seen it too many times and it just ceases?
Yeah, I've definitely had that.
I had that the other day with the word all, as in A-L-L, not A-W-L.
Okay.
And I'm like, all. Like, I just said it out loud to myself 2 or 3 times slowly, and I talked myself out of believing it was a word. Ragnar, I absolutely agree with you. Why use lot word when less word do good? Also, okay, glad we have official knowledge here. 1 metric crap ton is 1.1 US crap tons.
There you go. Now I will use Snarf's favorite consumable for the first time this match.
It's the best button.
Torpedo reload booster. I think that Vermont actually just like straight up turned out of range, so those are not landing.
Yes, you're right. All is Texas's main resource. How, as a newly minted Texan, could I forget that all is what we do here?
I think I'm just like, for those 2 salvos, I was just kind of pot-shotting, since, as you can see, Kunming's ballistics are essentially unusable at like 10 kilometers plus. The edges of that Elbing smoke were covering me, so I just kind of dropped a couple shots out to see if I can land a fire or something on him. Again, at this range, it's not a fight I actually want to take, but if I'm not going to be spotted, I might as well. What did I just spot?
Oh, you spotted the FDR, which I will take some pot shots at.
I think he's going dark in a sec here because I turned the wrong way, but I will get him back up for you.
If I live through this, which I did not.
Oh, unfortunate. The Elbing is turning back in towards me.
Why does the Battle Pass this week show that you only need to purchase 25 dubs to get it? I only have 89 and the pass costs 3,000. I would double check that that's not just the increment that it's telling you to purchase. Sometimes if the... actually, that is weird.
That is an unfortunate gap in the torpedoes.
I believe we sell 2,500 as a standard increment, but I am not sure why that would be. Also, shout out to zuiKatsu. Nailing, was that your first torp?
It was.
Posted in the WoW's general discussion. I'm going to call it general discussion because that's what it's called. I know that other people have other names for that channel in our Discord.
Such as?
Such as things I'm not going to say. Turn,
torps, turn.
If you guys insist on I'm just going to say 6-7 on stream a bunch of times. If you guys, that's my blackmail. That's the only power I have here. Call it general discussion or 6-7. Let's see.
Boo.
Yes. Plank loads are the consistent units of measurement in swear tons. Swear tons, which of course we did not engage in on stream. Well, the raid would be just on time then, because it is now 7:01 p.m. Central Time.
Yes, and that's what happens when I have to use torpedoes. They're not guaranteed to land like shells are.
I know,
Shame.
See,
Very-
this is why
it's very sad.
we all know here that Kunming is a bad ship. Because zuiKatsu and I are the ones on stream this week, we can say that unanimously, right?
I will end this stream right now.
And that was the full, I will turn this car around, mister, that we just got from Sir Snarf, which I
Yeah.
think means it's time to end the stream, folks.
But in any case, that is it for our usual stream time. Thank you all for coming around. Hope you got whatever drops you were here for. I know we
Yes.
saw at least one Victoria in the chat. 15.2 is live for NA, as you all can see. Asia is coming out of maintenance in a couple of hours, and you will be on 15.2 as well. EU is going into maintenance later today, tonight, depending on where you are.
Time is also weird. There's no metric time, but wouldn't that be convenient?
Thanks for making me feel better about my gameplay. Sometimes you just have a bad game.
And, that's what we're here for. We want to make you guys feel better about your gameplay. We want to teach you guys if there's anything to be taught. We hope most of all that you come here and you have a good time. So
Yes.
if you did, that counts as
Yes,
as
you
a
will have
successful stream.
your chances on the EU stream tomorrow to finish off your drops if you were not able to complete them. And just another mention, the Sabaton
Sabaton stream this Friday.
stream should be on Friday, and there is a countdown to it, I believe, in your armory,
Yes.
or at least to the event as a whole
Yes.
in your armory. So keep an eye out. There is another stream, an unusual timing one, on Friday. Keep an eye out on this very channel.
And let's give a hearty happy birthday, happy 30th birthday,
Yes,
graduating
Happy
from
30th.
the 20s to Minnie Hannibal here in just a second. And
Yes.
we will see you guys again next week on Wednesday.
See you next week, Captains.